Welcome back to the channel. My name is Gordon Frayne, and today we're back with another weekly Bitcoin and cryptocurrency market update for Friday, August 23rd, 2024. As always, if you enjoy the content, please make sure to smash that thumbs up button below, hit that subscribe button as well, and if you want to get notified about similar videos, make sure to smash that bell notification icon, and don't forget to grab your free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin. It's going to be linked in the description below. Grab it while it's free. It is my gift to you. And let's get into the video. So we are seeing a very nice bit of action in the markets here this Friday. Bitcoin is back well above this $63,000 level, currently sitting at 63,653, up over 5.5% in the past 24 hours alone, up 6.6% in the past 7 days. We've seen ETH now get all the way up to about 2750, up 5.5% in the past 24 hours as well. BNB is sitting at about $587. Solana is back at the $150 level. So lots of green in the markets here with pump action happening. Much of this off the back of some of Jerome Powell's comments this morning about kind of signaling towards a change in policy and very likely us seeing rate cuts here by the time we get to September 18th. We will jump into that in more detail in a few minutes. But if we jump over to the overall cryptocurrency market cap and look at this for the past 7 days, we can see that we've seen a nice steady inflow of capital, and we've gone from about 2.09 trillion in overall market cap this time last Friday to a market cap of about 2.24 trillion here today, as we see more capital inflow into the space, Bitcoin pumping higher and more capital flowing into major blue chips and the altcoin market as well. If we jump over and see some of the top gainers and losers of the past 7 day time frame, pretty much everything in the top 100 is now in the green. Some alts like PopCat popping off, up over 55% in the past 7 days alone. A lot of that gain coming in the past 48 hours. We've got Fetch, or the Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, with the merger of those artificial intelligence altcoins. That's up 42% in the past week as well. Polygon is up almost 32%, Avalanche up 30%, Floki up just under 30%. We've got Optimism up 25%, Render up 25% as well, Algorand up 24%, Dog with Hat up 24%. We've also got the Graph up about 23%, Sui up about 23%, Aave up about 21%, Arweave up 20%, and very few of the top 100 in the red here. Only Helium, Leo, Zcash, Litecoin, and Kaspa holding around a minus 1% level over the past 7 days. So lots of action happening here in the markets, and pretty much the vast majority of the top 100 well into the green and putting in big numbers in terms of percentage gains over the past 7 days. If we jump over the Bitcoin dominance, we can see just how much Bitcoin dominance surged here in the month of August. We've gone from dominance levels here as we entered August around 56%, and we've got all the way up above 57. We even went up as high here as the 57.7 range. We're currently sitting at 57.23% for Bitcoin dominance. But once again, we've seen this Bitcoin dominance hold very strong over the past 12 to 18 months. We're on this very, very strong uptrend here since the beginning of 2023. It doesn't show any signs to be breaking down at the moment. It could be a couple more months before we hit any kind of big altcoin season, and Bitcoin dominance remains very healthy. Speaking of altcoin season, we can see it is not an altcoin month. It is more of a Bitcoin strong month according to the altcoin season index. As we scroll down, we can see the top 50 performers over the past month time period. We can see Bitcoin itself is down 6.6% over the past 30 days. Most everything is in the red thanks to the big market drop we did see at the beginning of August with the unwind of the Japanese yen carry trade, and we saw Bitcoin dipping as low as 49,000. Most of the alts lost huge amounts of gains in that same week period as well. However, we do have some outliers. We have Aave up 46% on the month. We've got Sui up 26% on the month. Tron is up about 13%. And then we've got XMR and Tau also up about 1 to 3% as well. Everything else from the top 50 altcoins is in the red. As we mentioned, some of the meme coins being worst off. We do see the meme coins pumping extremely hard when they do run, but when they do lose those gains, when Bitcoin and Ethereum drop, the altcoins do drop. The meme coins do drop very hard as well. So with Pepe and Bonk all down more than 30% here in the past month time frame. Ethereum itself is down about 21%. Solana is also down 19%. So, some of the blue chips also down significantly over the past 30 days. But with this most recent market bounce, we're seeing some of those gains being recovered and some positive sentiment as we head into the weekend. If we jump over to the Narratives Index, we can see Narratives month-to-date performance. NFTs have actually been performing well in terms of narratives, decentralized science, GameFi, decentralized exchanges, LRTs, and DePIN. However, zooming out even further and looking at the narrative year-to-date performance, we can actually see derivatives have been the best performing narrative, with memes in second place, real-world assets, liquid staking derivatives, and the Bitcoin narrative itself. So always worth keeping an eye on these different narratives, which narratives are performing and capturing the mind share of investors on the market. Jumping over to the Bitcoin ETF flows, it's been a pretty positive week overall. We've seen positive inflows with the US ETF issuers purchasing decent amounts of Bitcoin every single day. We can see positive inflows here, over 1,000. Most of the days we had August 21st at about 700 Bitcoin, and then back up above 1,100 Bitcoin of net inflows here on August 22nd as well. This bodes pretty well because the previous 3 weeks, we did see a lot of outflow days and some big outflow days as a result of that. Last week wasn't too bad, just one day with net outflows. Every day this week has been positive inflow so far, and I think we'll close off the week with that as well. So we're seeing sustained demand coming in from the ETFs. This trend line continuing to tick back upwards thanks to the net inflows we're seeing over the past week or so. Next up, we've got the Bitcoin cycle low multiple. And again, it's always worth just thinking about where we are in terms of the overall macro structure and the 4-year cycle. What this chart represents is basically the performance of Bitcoin's price action in the lead up to and aftermath of each of the 4 previous halving events. So what we're seeing here with day 0 in the middle of the chart is the halving date in the previous 3 eras, as well as the current era where we are, denoted in the red line with era 4. So the blue line represents the price action of Bitcoin in the aftermath of the 2012 halving. The orange line representing the price action of Bitcoin in the aftermath here of the 2016 halving, and the green line showing us price action in the aftermath of the 2020 halving, and this red line for our current trajectory showing us the price action of Bitcoin in the past 110 days or so, 120 days since the 2024 halving event in April of this year. So again, if we are in to see the price action that we saw in the aftermath of the previous 3 halving events, one would expect us to move up and to the right from here, given the fact that we have the supply shock with only 3.125 Bitcoin as a reward per block for miners as we speak, down from 6.25 in the previous cycle. Again, consistent and constant demand from the ETFs is another positive driver here for this price action to move upwards, and lots of the global liquidity stuff happening with rate cuts on the horizon also leads us to believe that we're going to be seeing this moving up and to the right. So we will have to wait and see. But other stuff to keep an eye on, real world asset tokenization. Again, we're seeing huge amounts of inflows in terms of stable coins being minted and tokenized in an on-chain fashion. Just zooming out and looking all the way back here to this period, in the period of 2020 here, and the immediate aftermath of the 2020 halving, we did see a big pickup in the amount of stable coins being minted on chain. And again, even as we moved into 2021, just look how sharp of a rise we saw here in Q1 of 2021 with the amount of stable coin being tokenized on chain. And look at the similarity to what we're seeing here now as we move through 2024, seeing big upticks in stablecoins being issued on chain and tokenized on chain. And in my opinion, this will continue to be a very bullish driver for more capital flowing into the space and more price action moving to the upside as a result. Again, we know when we got to this period at the very end of 2021, this is where we were seeing Bitcoin putting in new all-time highs. Alts were rallying and hitting new all-time highs as well. So it's very interesting to see the correlation with the tokenization of stablecoins on chain and how the price action is correlated as a result. So very interested to follow this over the next few months as we begin to see continued and consistent amounts of stable coins being tokenized on chain. Again, as we alluded to earlier, we had comments from Jerome Powell this morning stating that the time has come for policy to adjust, indicating a shift towards cutting interest rates. And again, if we jump over to the FedWatch chart here, we can see that the percentages are looking like traders believing we're going to be getting at least a 500 to 525 interest rate by the time we get to September, with a 36.5% chance that we get a double rate cut. Essentially, we're currently sitting at the 525 to 550 rate. So a double rate cut would bring us down to this 475 to 500 level. So, 100% chance that we're getting a rate cut. It's just a matter of whether it's going to be a single or double basis point rate cut here for September 18th. So all eyes now moving to September 18th and what's going to happen there with the rate cuts. And finally, looking at the on-chain data over the past week, again, what we're seeing here is lots of action happening with Near protocol for daily active addresses on the Near blockchain. Again, I'm keen to understand more about what's going on Near, because there's not a huge amount going on in terms of DeFi, but it'll be interesting to see what we find when we do a deeper dive into Near protocol and everything that's happening on chain there. Solana in second place with over 1.9 to 1.7 million daily active addresses. When it comes to daily transactions, Solana is the clear leader here with over 34 to kind of 35, 36 million daily transactions happening on chain every single day. Near protocol is in second place, but still miles off Solana at about 7.2 million. Then we've got Base and Sui with 4.1 and 3.3 million daily transactions respectively. And then Polygon, Ethereum, Ton, Aptos, and Avalanche making up the remainder here. And again, it's interesting to see just how much trading volume is happening on Solana versus Ethereum, given the fact that Solana is still trading at only about 20% of Ethereum's overall market cap. I think there's lots of room for Solana to potentially outperform Ethereum on a percentage basis as we move through the rest of this particular cycle. And again, looking at the fees here, Ethereum is bringing in more fees day over day than Solana, but Solana is going kind of pound for pound with Ethereum here when it comes to fees and revenue being generated on chain. We can see that Solana is generating even more revenue than Ethereum on certain days over the past 7-day time period. So that is the week in Bitcoin and crypto. It's been a very exciting 24 to 48 hours, seeing Bitcoin get back up above this $63,000 level and inching ever closer to 64K. Ethereum back above 2750, Solana back above 150. Lots of exciting stuff going on. Let's see if we can sustain this kind of price action as we move through the weekend. As always, if you enjoy the content, please make sure to smash that thumbs up button below, hit that subscribe button as well, and if you want to get notified about similar videos, make sure to smash the bell notification icon. And once again, don't forget to grab your free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin. It's going to be linked in the description below. Grab it while it's free. It is my gift to you, and we'll catch you in the next one.